Welcome to Live with Gospel Access, discussing today's trending topics from a spiritual perspective with your host, Minister Tracy Gales, special guest, Pastor Ralph Martino.
So check this out, y'all. Before you get to the Oval Office, they had all the presidents in these beautiful gold-framed portraits. And what Trump has decided to do just the other day is put a plaque underneath each president's picture. And they are insults and bash. So he's insulting and bashing the former president. So this was in Australia, Bondi Beach. It happened this week, where a father and a son duo decided they're going to go to the beach and start shooting people that are having a Jewish celebration on the beach. Wow. So check this out. Knowing that her views on standing with the women would upset Trump, she stood for what was right. Say what you want to say about Marjorie Taylor Greene, but in this respect, on this issue, she did the right thing. She did what was right. She had to know. She had to know that Trump was going to blow a gasket, which he did.
For some reason, somehow, some way, some parent was naive, ignorant to it, not spending time with, not paying attention to perhaps what the child is going through. But understand this much, and we're not blaming parents. Who we're blaming is the enemy. We're striving tonight to expose the enemy for who he is. He doesn't care how old or how young your child is. Hello, somebody. That's how deep this is. That's how, man, listen, he is after our babies. Oh,
of course, it is sparkling grape.
Thank you.
Get
Jesus.
your drink. Get your drinks.
Oh my God. It's time to do what? It is time to celebrate. Listen, thank you all so much for such encouraging words. And can we share this with you? That's what ministry is all about for us. It's about you. It's not even about us. But here's the thing. You know, nothing worse than being a policeman or fireman or firewoman or policewoman and sitting in the station and never getting a call. The only time they move is when a demand is placed on them. And that's what God does. God gifts us. And then when he gifts us, he then draws on the gifts, activates the gifts when a demand is placed on the gifts.
This week's elections were held right in the middle of this government shutdown. And the Democratic Party won big in, New Jersey, Virginia, and New York. But the big story that came out of it was this guy. I hope I pronounced his name right. Here we go. Zohran Mamdani. Right. He won. He went from being a relatively little known assemblyman to winning the mayoral race of New York. It's just wild to me that this man, this is happening out in LA, Gold's Gym. He sashayed Shantae into the women's locker room. The women freak out because they're butt naked, and here this man walks in. I mean, y'all can plainly see this is a dude. And then Gold's Gym kicks the sister out for complaining that the man is in the room. Jamaica rebuilding homes, restoring hope.
My God. My God. Oh, devastating.
That's what we're talking about.
Says, oh my God, look how devastating that is. Hey, have you ever noticed when you look at how wicked the colors even look? So you know it's up to no good.
This man has said with his own lips on Air Force One, he said he believes he is not heaven bound. He says, I'm not a candidate for heaven. So he has counted himself out.
Ooh, Jesus.
I've never even heard anybody say that. Have you?
No. And says, if he had, with him making that statement, I'm looking for a parachute right now. Okay. You laughing. Where's the compassion, man? I mean, this senator, appreciate his fire. These guys, Tracy, I hate to say this, but let me share something with you all that the Lord placed in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
We need to, God wants to raise up senators and
Mhm.
representatives who will have the heart of God, and we need to vote all of these guys out, run them all out.
Mhm. You're
Seriously,
absolutely right. You're absolutely
yeah.
right.
They need to be gone. Oh my God.
So Philly fans done put the Commanders stuff in a casket and a hearse.
Lord have mercy.
Now that's some next level fandom right there.
Trace, something wrong right there.
Next level fandom right there. But you know what? I mean, first of all, do you think they went too far, or you think that's all good in for sports?
That's going too far. Our faith is not in the stock market. Our faith is in the God who governs it and controls it. And so therefore, this becomes very critical for you and I to understand that, because whoever you place your stock in, that's who you're invested in, and that's who's invested in you. And so therefore, it becomes critical for us to understand the differences between the two, because it will, in fact, make all the difference in the world. So what we were led to cover prophetically was check your stock portfolio. Who or what have you put your stock in? God was saying me or the world, me or yourself, me or your job, or me or someone else, me or your bank account, me or your husband, me or your wife, me or your children. Check your portfolio, check your stock inventory, because creative disruptors have been released in the earth. That's what
I mean, no survivors of this crash at all. Everyone has perished, and it was, it was just so jarring because, I mean, all of us have flown, and they say over the thing, we're getting ready to land, buckle up, put your seat up, put the tray table up, and you're ready. You texting whoever, come pick me up. I'm 10 minutes out. These people they were there. They were about to land, only for their lives to end so abruptly.
Jesus. Wow. I mean, it's just, it almost looked like a missile heading towards that plane. That's what that looks like, as if, I hate to say it, just looks so intentional. Just from a discerning eye, Tracy, just look look at it. It just looks intentional. But again, God forbid, not trying to start anything. But when we looked at this through discernment, it just wasn't good. And Tracy, for us, what makes this so real is that 12 hours before this happened, we actually literally flew out of Reagan National at 8:00 that same morning on American Airlines on that same CRJ 700.
That is crazy.
That was probably the same aircraft that we were on, because it dropped us off in Memphis and had to go over to Kansas. So that's exactly what happened.
Okay. Wow.
That's how deep that is. So that's a plane that was on its way back.
What?
Yes, ma'am. That's how deep this is.
Absolutely correct.
I mean, we're looking at this in absolute, utter amazement that somebody would be that cold and that calculating, that they would bypass a barrier, enter into busy streets, only to try to take out lives, injure individuals, as if somehow or another you're not going to get caught and have to pay for the penalty of such a crime. Jimmy Carter, former president, our 39th president, had a major influence on this country and on the people in this country. Again, as we're led to share, you had haters, but you had celebrators as well. And then the second eye is impact. He had a major impact. When you go back and you take a look at the key events during his presidency, what we will learn is that he had a major impact in many different ways. And because he went against the grain, that's what generated more hatred towards him. But yet he did not let that stop him from fulfilling what he believed God called him to do.
Wow.
And then thirdly, investment. He invested his life in what he did. I mean, look at this devastation, Tracy, and we're dealing with individuals that were forewarned and then warned about the fires. And again, typically These fires take place every year, Tracy, every year in California.
Mhm.
So they're not unaware of what's going on. But sometimes, no matter how many times we are warned, we're still determined, adamant that we're going to do it the way we want to do it. And here we are. My God.
Yeah, what struck me was how you hear of these stories of, just like you said, first of all, they do come every year. Now, they're not this devastating every year, but the people are told to evacuate, and yet a lot of them do not leave. So they done moved the thing to indoors now. It's not going to be outside.
Okay.
You know, we're used to, I think I may have some pictures of his last inauguration, and, you know, we're used to it being outside. You know, we're used to it being outside. So there we go. You remember the last time Melania had on that bad suit?
Yes, he did.
With the matching gloves, but it was all outside. But this year, because of the cold that's supposed to hit on Sunday, Arctic, they're moving Trump's inauguration indoors.
Wow.
So that should be interesting. I don't remember.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It just shocked everybody. And Angie Stone was in Alabama, I believe it was in Mobile area, and she had performed. And Saturday morning, she was in a Mercedes. Her and her band, her backup singers, were in a Sprinter van carrying 8 members of her backup band. It was struck by a semi truck Saturday on Interstate 65 in Montgomery County, Alabama. Now, everyone else survived. All the other passengers survived the crash, but Angie Stone was the only person that actually perished. And what messed me up is she was on her way here. She was on her way to Baltimore because she was supposed to perform for the CIAA. She said she was terrified and excited at the same time.
Wow.
What I like about this is she's facing her fear. Did you hear her in the beginning? Her voice was cracking. She was getting ready to cry. She said, I'm scared. I'm terrified. But she's doing it anyway. So I'm asking y'all out there, what do you feel God has put on your heart that you have not done because you're too scared? You're too scared. You're scared. What is it? Or go ahead, Pastor Ralph. You go ahead.
Hey, no, that's just straight up good. I love that, right? Because the only way you'll ever know whether or not the fear is a reality is if you face it.
So that's what happened the other night. It was quite a lively session there, but you got to give him his props. You know, he was talking about how they're thinking about getting rid of Medicaid. That's what, from what I understand, what Al Green was fussing about, you know, but he did this to get focus on they're wanting to cut like $880 million off of Medicaid. I don't think it's been approved yet, but so Al Green was speaking truth to power. Well, here we go. So Trump has decided to no longer send money to Ukraine and share intelligence. So what I'm gathering here with this breaking news is we stopped sharing the intelligence. So therefore, Russia has bombed Ukraine. And perhaps if we would have warned Ukraine about this impending strike, they could have protected themselves. That's what I'm getting from this. You know, that was a really good clip because it took us back to, it's like, how did all this start?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? How did all this start? So, you know, jury selection has begun. They're looking for 12 jurors, of course, with 6 alternates. So that's what they're going through right now. He's been locked up for, what is it, Pastor Ralph? The last 7 months, he's been locked up in a jail in Brooklyn. So he's basically, if convicted, he's facing life in prison. They're charging him. He's facing 5 federal charges. One is racketeering, sex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution, and running a criminal enterprise. You know what? I mean, to me, it looked intentional. The young lady said that she hit her by accident because she was losing her balance. But if you look at that lady's leg, she ain't losing no balance. Don't look like to me.
No, indeed. No, indeed. And
What balance did she lose there? None.
And the sad part about it, in the heat of the moment, she allowed the enemy to do what he does. He calls us to do stuff in the heat of the moment without thinking and about the consequences. And that's exactly what happened. Look at this right here. Okay. We got you. Okay. We see that she's over in that lane and she's crossing over, but that was an intentional blow.
Yeah, that's true. And this hate is coming from people not liking what Musk is doing with Doge. I mean, Tesla's stock is falling. The resale value, from what I understand, on the used Teslas is not as good as it used to be. They've got a recall on the Cybertruck because one of the panels can fall off while you're driving. And I think some money is missing from their balance sheet. So I think this is definitely a direct result of what Elon's doing with Doge. I really don't even understand it. But Kanye West tweeted something that was horrible. And here's the tweet. He said, "Wait, has anyone ever seen Jay-Z and Beyonce's younger kids? They're retarded." No, like literally. And this is why artificial insemination is such a blessing. Having retarded children is a choice. I can't believe I just read that. I can't believe somebody would write that. What is that? All right. So a lot of people are upset with this, and this is all everybody is talking about. Well, let me say what happened. This is a resurfaced video. This actually happened in July of 2024, right? And it's showing pastor and gospel singer Marvin Sapp. He is being criticized because he's challenging, as you can see in the clip, the people online and the people who are there to give $20 for a total, which comes to, he did the math, which comes to $40,000. So social media is on fire because a lot of people feel that he held the attendees hostage while he raised the money. So that field. But what I thought of was, how many times have I shared confidential my heart with somebody that didn't need to know? Hey, somebody that didn't need to know. How many times have we done that in life? You telling people your innermost secret and dreams, and it was somebody that shouldn't even have known. This game went down the other day between the Indiana Pacers and the Milwaukee Bucks, right? What happened was the game went into overtime. So, you know, Pastor Ralph, whenever a game goes into overtime, the crowd is in a frenzy.
Yeah.
Emotions are high. I think the Pacers were down by 7 points. They were down, and then they caught up, tied, went into overtime, and a guy by the name of Tyrese Halliburton hit the game-winning shot. So they actually won by 1 point, right? So everybody is excited. But what happened was somebody got too excited, and that was Tyrese Halliburton's father, John. He got too excited. When we think about leaving a legacy, we think of money, which of course Beyonce is going to leave to her daughter, Blue Ivy, and plenty of it. But looking at this, her improvement as a dancer, when Beyonce did her Renaissance tour, Blue danced, and it was very mechanical, it was very stiff, and people ate her alive. And she took that criticism, worked hard, and now she's killing it. She's only 13, just killing it. So I want to talk about leaving a legacy.
There's some ways that I want to prepare us for the days ahead that I can't do it completely from the pulpit. Every now and then I think they'll let me preach, but there's some work in the vineyard that needs to be done.
This week, Academy Award nominee Terrence Howard dropped this bombshell on a podcast earlier this week, talking about his interaction with music producer P. Diddy. And of course, we all know that Diddy is locked up right now, awaiting his federal sex trafficking trial. So basically, what my man Terrence Howard is talking about, he's talking about no compromise. He's talking about not compromise. I love his honesty. I love his vulnerability. I love that he just put it out there. He's talking about not compromising to get ahead, not compromising and going against what you're about.
Wow.
Alicia Keys is another one. She was recognized for the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award. And what struck me about this whole situation with the Grammys is we're looking at people who God has given a gift, whether it be a songwriter, a song producer, an artist, a dancer, whatever. These people have a gift and they've been stirring that gift up. Now they're being recognized at the Grammys. But I was just in awe at how long. You remember Alicia Keys been out? How old was she? She was super young. Remember that?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Oh my God. But as you're led to share, but Tracy, they kept their hands to the plow. They kept working in the area of gifting, which really speaks to the fact you got to find out where your gift is and stay right there. You gotta listen. You gotta grow and mature where you're planting.
They're saying that the refs are helping them win and all this. It's got so bad that the NFL Referee Association had to step in and say something. This is how bad the hate is. And Patrick Mahomes himself. Here it goes. Says Patrick Mahomes just keeps winning. He's not at all bothered with people who are mad about it. Yeah, I mean, dodging the Doge wrecking ball. Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, that President Trump has put Mr. Elon Musk in charge of. This Doge agency, which is brand new, is supposed to be going in and finding fraud and waste and abuse to make the government leaner, meaner, more efficient. But instead, like Senator Bernie Sanders just said, they going in just getting rid of people. What? So for those of you who've never seen this couple, they are on a reality show called Chrisley Knows Best, right? And they're known for showing their opulence, showing their rich lifestyle. And they're supposed to be religious because they weave scripture in and out of their reality show. Well, a few years ago, they were convicted and sentenced because they were convicted of defrauding banks and defrauding of all entities, the IRS, right? So what they are convicted of doing is they have exaggerated their TV earnings to borrow money from banks that they could not repay to the tune of $30 million.
Wow.
So, this was a few years ago. So they sentenced the husband, Todd, to 12 years, and they sentenced the wife, Julie, to 7 years. So the daughter is a Trump supporter. And as you can see from the clip, this is hot off the press. Pardon them, and they came home last night. Hundreds of FAA workers have been fired by the Trump administration. What say you?
Concerned, because the union, the one who normally represents them, never loses a case, always gets what they desire, could not protect their own. These were individuals that were brought in under the idea, the concept that you would have a long-term opportunity, that you could make a difference here and within the government, within the FAA, only to have their vision and their dreams cut short.
One of his attorneys quit and said, under no circumstances can I continue. I wonder, I would love to be a little roach in the corner, a little fly on the wall. What's really going on, y'all? One of the attorneys quit, and the attorney making long money. But this guy said, nah, under no circumstances can I continue with this. Wow. I mean, how cavalier can you be? I done cut your job, and I actually have, hold on a second, somebody sent it to me. This is the letter that a lot of people are getting. The agency finds, based on your performance, that you have not demonstrated that your further employment at the agency would be in the public interest. This is how a lot of people are getting fired, by that little letter right there, email, whatever.